all fun. Well, this time we are discovering why Huggy Wuggy was even created and what were his purposes. Now, the first thing we need. Now, Leith Pierre specifically states that we shouldn't be here, and that the security in this place is very, very, well, how do I say this? Very severe. If he also states that we are trespassing if we go through this place. Yet in all the other chapters we go deeper and deeper. Now, let's see what Leith Pierre has to say.
Hi, my name is Leith Pierre, and I'm the head of innovation here at the Playtime Co. Toy Factory. If you're seeing this, then you're trespassing. Yeah, we play this little tape on loop whenever we close the factory for the day. So, trespasser, just to make you aware, while we pride ourselves primarily on our high-quality toys and excellent childcare, we also pride ourselves on our security. For example, this facility is full of hidden motion triggers, which, once set off, will turn on the factory's emergency alarms and directly contact the authorities. And that's one of the more tame aspects of our security system. No spoilers. So, you've got my warning. It's not too late to turn around. I just hope that you're certain whatever you're doing is worth it.
Now he says no spoilers about the so-called different types of security. But most people would probably be wondering, what types of security did he not mention? Now let me get through this game so I can show you. Now the train specifically says green, pink, yellow, red. But so we would put that in there. But why those specific colors? We will not be covering that in the series, but that is a huge question that I would ask. Sorry, my memory is not very well, but this is probably going to be a very good observation. Now, after we get the grab pack, we have access to the blue hand, which grants us access to the main lobby of Puppy Playtime, or as some people call it, the Playtime Factory. The first thing we see is Huggy Wuggy in a very ominous-looking lobby with very damaged toys and that have very weird appearances. Some missing from the boxes and some looking cursed. But we are not here to talk about these toys. We're here to talk about the actual security system. Huggy Wuggy himself. Everybody thought that he may be the reason that he is chasing us, since the prototype himself in Chapter 5 eliminates him. Maybe he is just trying to stick to protocol, even though he was in the hour of joy. Maybe he was convinced by the prototype that the workers in the hour of joy, that were in the working area in the hour of joy, were trespassers, or he acted on instinct to kill. Or maybe we can just talk, or maybe he couldn't take it anymore. I mean, if I had to sit in this stance forever, for as long as I lived in this whole factory, I wouldn't want to be stuck in this position, like standing up. I honestly wish that I could sit down like this doll right here. Like, honestly. I'm not even kidding, like, honestly. Anywho. We go... Apparently, the power breaks. And when we go in, it doesn't let us. But apparently 0.3 seconds later, he hands us the key. But why does he hand us the key if he specifically wants to decommission us? Why does he want us to be progressing through the game? And you can also see he is very barely moving as his fur is trembling a little bit. I am not sure if you guys can see this, but his fur is clearly moving. And then when we get through this puzzle, and before we finish the puzzle, let's all just see if Huggy Wuggy is still there. You can clearly see he is right there. So why don't we continue? The game? Now I'm going to look at him while I finish this puzzle. So he disappears in 0.3 seconds again. But what happened? This supposedly leads to make a friend. So what if he's just watching us from some different angle that we cannot see? What if he was in this area the whole entire time that we didn't even know? Now, if we go through here, it is make a friend, and we can clearly see his hand. So that defeats but what if that's just Kissy Missy? Because in Chapter 2, we think it's Huggy Wuggy at first in our first encounter with Kissy Missy. So what if the lighting is also just bad? What if we jump to conclusions? Also, the steam keeps coming out of these pipes, so these people need humidity control or something. So now let's go through the store. As we can see, there are a lot of dead toys, or you could just say toy parts. These bins are aren't very helpful to move. Moving them is slow, but there is one toy that's the most connected of them all, yet it doesn't seem to be able to do anything. Boogie Bot. Maybe this connection has nothing to do with any of the Anywho, let's get up here. Now, that's the end of it all today because I can't figure anything else out. Bye.